sort of a mystery around how you go to new countries and stay for longer than a month. Like 4 months stay. I'm just like, how does somebody do that? I mean, I thought there was like a law that after a month you have to get out. So what is some of the things behind the process that you can have an extended stay someplace like New Zealand?
There's, well, for example, in Argentina, you can get a 90-day tourist visa.
Tourist visa.
Right, so they'll give you a visa, and you can stay for 90 days. After that, if you try to leave and you stayed longer, then they'll charge you as you leave.
Okay.
Quite a bit, usually.
Okay.
So there's little tricks in each country. For Argentina, it's Uruguay. If you go over to Uruguay for a second and then return to Argentina, then they give you a new visa. They stamp it again, so you have another 90 days. So they have something called the Bukibus, which is a boat, just a little ferry that crosses a small river.
Okay.
And you go over to Uruguay, to a place called Colonia, which is a town that exists only for this purpose, basically, as far as I can tell. There's nothing of interest there. This is where I slept on the bench. It's not a horrible little town. It's very quiet and pleasant, but it's definitely just... There's no other reason this place would exist except for the border hoppers. You know, the people who are going there to get their visa renewed to go back to Buenos Aires.
Official name, border hoppers.
Yeah, exactly. These kinds of little tricks exist everywhere, and sometimes it's going to another country, sometimes it's just going to the embassy and talking to the right people, but in general there's a way around any visa. You don't have to go back to the States, you don't have to go back home and have costly plane tickets. Usually you can get it done right there.
Okay. Now, just tell a little bit about your future plans. I know you're going to New Zealand. I know you have a book coming up. Is there anything else you have in the workings?
I mean, like I said, the Exile Lifestyle project right now is just kind of an excuse for me. It brings in clients from time to time, but mostly it's an excuse so that I can have the lifestyle that I enjoy, surrounded by people that I enjoy, and an excuse to do crazy stuff. Because if you just do crazy stuff without a project, you're a crazy person. But if you do crazy stuff with a project, then you're a business person. So this gives me an excuse to not be a crazy person. In the near future, I have a 30 book coming out. For the first 2 I gave away, this one's going to be probably $10 or something cheap. And I'll probably do it for $5 the first week or 2 that it's out.
Very good books, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
One of them, you said that a school was using it as a textbook or something?
Yeah, a couple schools.
A couple?
Yeah, I get these emails from principals of schools,
How
and they're
to
like...
be remarkable?
Yeah, and it's just, it's advice that, you know, anybody, most of it's just common sense, but to have somebody tell you why you should apply this common sense is helpful sometimes. It gives you permission. But yeah, these emails that I get, like from the principals, somebody asked me to come and speak in Dubai about it, so if I'm ever in the area, I should come talk to their group. It's very cool. It's a lot of fun, and so many great people helped out on that book in particular, that it's really validating in a way that people want to hear about. These are the people that I found to be remarkable. The ones who could get something in on time for the publishing date, at least. There were a few others that weren't able to make it. So it's validating to see that other people feel the same way about their ideas, and the ideas that I've picked up from other people like them over time.
So the new book that's coming up is going to be multiple authors as well, or is it?
Yeah, to a degree. I'm going to ask probably fewer people to contribute, just because it's very specific. It's more specific than the last one. It's not just how to lead a lifestyle that people will tell their friends about, but it's more about my specific tactics for networking, which are very different than the way most people network. Most people, when I tell them, they're they're not offended. They just think that it's totally can't work. But tentatively, it's about party networking, I guess you could say. Partying and going out for drinks and ending up at,
wherever.
Yeah, prostitute clubs. Seriously, brothels sometimes. It's very strange, the places that I've ended up with, like the vice presidents of major, Fortune 500 companies in the last couple months. It's very strange. So hopefully I'll be able to name some names, but probably not.
Okay, so you said that in the future you would like to move into different products other than that as well. Can you talk a little bit about that? What kind of...
Yeah, and I'm about to open up a new part of my site that's like the goodies section, I'm calling it, goodies.xllifestyle.com. It's not up yet, but maybe by the time this goes up.
Next month?
Yeah, where I'm putting up a bunch of free stuff and then a few things that will cost as little as I can possibly make them cost. Like, a few people have asked me for backgrounds for their computer, using illustrations that I've put up on my blogs.
Plain backgrounds?
Yeah, just, the wallpapers.
Yeah.
So I've made a few of those that I'm going to put up for people to download.
Okay.
But then I'm also going to do T-shirts, because a couple of my clients were T-shirt. That's a good response. That's good. Testing my market right now. A few of my old clients were actually T-shirt companies. So I'm trying to find a good T-shirt. A lot of them, unfortunately, I don't care for the product itself, so I need to find a company that uses good quality T-shirts.
Okay.
But as soon as I do, I'm going to take a lot of my illustrations and put them on T-shirts and sell them through the website. Just as, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not planning on making a living off of them, so I'm going to price them as low as possible so people can have them. But it's kind of fun to see your work on somebody else. I can't act my way out of the paper bag.
You can't act.
No, I was the only person in LA who didn't think they could act.
Have you thought about having Colin is my name? What's it called? Reality show. Just broadcasting from all these different places where you're at, because I know you have that following at XL Lifestyle Design. I was like, why doesn't he have a reality show?
I've had some people ask me to pitch them stuff, actually, from a couple different networks, but it didn't seem like a good fit.
So, for the rest of this year, you're going... What does the rest of your year look like? Here?
Right now...
Hopping to somewhere else?
Yeah, from here, actually, tomorrow, I'm flying out to LA.
Glad I caught you.
Yeah, and I'll be there for the weekends, and then tentatively from there I'm flying to Sydney. Something came up where a friend actually is getting a TV show in New York.
Okay.
And might fly out there to help out with the pilot. But so I'll either go to New York and then to Sydney, or directly from LA to Sydney. One way or another, I'm going to be in Sydney, going to Australia for a week or two, and then moving to New Zealand. From New Zealand, I don't know yet. The first week I'm there, I'm going to put up the new poll.
All right.
So people can vote.
So people in New York, possibly Australia and New Zealand, look out for Colin is my name, Colin Wright.